Jenny Hart with the Jenny Hart team at Keller Williams, and I'm here today with Farrah Crosbie, House to Home Inspections. Today we're going to talk about the three kind of major items that we run into in a home inspection: radon, sewer issues, and mold. So I have a lot of clients that want to forego the radon inspection, and I don't know why. Radon is found in every single home in Colorado. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Yours can be very low, your neighbors can be very high, vice versa. It is a cancerous causing gas. It is not something you want to risk. Spend the $100 to $150 on the test and have peace of mind. To mitigate radon, it's about $1,000 up to $2,000. Not significant for most people, but definitely your life could be on the line if you get cancer. So that's something we want to test. Farrah, how do you test for radon?
Absolutely. So I have a continuous radon monitor that I use. So I usually put it in someone's house. I've got a stand. It's got to stand a couple feet above the ground, and I usually plug it in, so I need an electrical outlet. And basically what happens is I leave it at your house. You don't have to do anything. Don't move it. Don't open the windows or the doors. Normal in and out of the house is completely fine, but you don't want to, leave your windows open for a long time because it'll skew the results of the test. So anyway, when I get the results after 48 hours, I pick up the monitor and I get a continuous reading. So I'll get a reading every hour, and then I usually make a line chart with that. So it'll tell me the average. And that's what we want to look out for, is the average. So if the average is over a certain amount, which is 4.0 picocuries per liter, then that means that at that point the EPA recommends that you mitigate for radon at that time.
There is a misconception that you don't need to test a ranch or a two-story house if there's no basement or crawl space. That is false.
Yeah.
I have a client who's actually a multi-time cancer survivor. So radon was very important to her, and it was just a single floor condo, no basement, no crawl space, and the radon was high in there, so we did have to mitigate. So sewer issues, that's another thing. It's unseen. A lot of people don't want to spend the money to do a sewer scope. A sewer scope is where they take a camera through your sewer lines and they can check and see if there's a belly, if there's any collapsed lines, if there's any tree roots. Certainly if there's large trees on the property, I am really going to encourage you to do a sewer scope. However, Farrah recently did an inspection for one of my clients, and it was a newer home, maybe 10 years old. We didn't really expect anything, but there ended up being a sewer issue, and it was about $7,000 to fix that issue. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's great. You really don't know what the condition is of the sewer until you really move in, and things can change, right? Like when a small family lives in the house and then a large family moves in, and it's not until those things start to change where you're using the everything more often, the bathrooms, sinks, and faucets, and then you start to notice like a problem. And it's really, I always tell people, it's the best, a little over $100 you'll ever spend, because it will, if there's a problem, then you can, figure it out and get that fixed before you move into the house, because otherwise it can be a costly repair.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is something that's negotiable. Everything in your home purchase is negotiable. So when you do your inspection, this is the time you want to find that stuff out. I have heard horror stories of a brand new build. People don't think they need to do a sewer inspection, and the line was collapsed. So another significant expense that they found out about. Mold mitigation. Very common to find mold in showers and things like that. I recently sold a home that was next to a lake, so very humid area. There was mold everywhere. There were different types of mold. Again, it wasn't a huge cost to mitigate it, but that's something that my family, who had little children, was very grateful to find out. It wasn't expected, it wasn't really visible to the untrained eye, but it was all over the house. So tell us a little bit about mold.
Absolutely. So I would say like the common places we find mold are crawl spaces, definitely showers and bathrooms. If it's in a shower in your bathroom, if you're gonna sell your house, just clean it up. Make sure that that's all clean before you have an inspection done. If I'm in a crawl space and I see mold, it's usually on the joists. So when I go in a crawl space it might not have a vapor barrier, so it doesn't have that plastic on the bottom, and some of those mold spores, they kick up and they latch onto the wood on the rim joist. So when I've seen really bad mold problems in crawl spaces, it's usually on those wood, and that's part of your subfloors, that's part of your structure. So you want to make sure, so before you sell your house, go down to the crawl space. I know it's not a fun place to go, but go down there, make sure that everything, you know, is cleaned up, and you know, if you have a mold problem at that point, you know, you can get that fixed before you sell your house. And whatever inspector you choose, when you're buying a house, you can always, you'll need to know, you know, if there's mold in the crawl space and things like that. But those are the most common areas, definitely. Under sinks too. Everyone has a kitchen sink. Everyone has at some point had a leak under there, and so actually those are really, really common places. Showers, bathrooms.
We are not telling you to hide it. You absolutely need to disclose this to a buyer if you are the seller. Very, very heavy penalties, lawsuits, things like that for hiding it. So when she says clean it up, she's saying clean it, but don't forget to disclose it, because that is a huge lawsuit waiting for you if you hide a mold issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If you have any questions regarding radon, sewer, mold, maybe you're not buying or selling, you've been in your house for a while and you think it might be a good idea to get some of these things tested, definitely reach out to us. We're going to have Farrah's contact info for you. And yeah, if you have any questions, reach out to me or Farrah directly and we can help you. We hope you guys have a great week.
Thank you. Thanks, Jenny.